Hi and welcome to the Indulge podcast with me, Romal Laisram. And like every week, I'm in conversation with someone amazing. Today, I've got Chef Vanshika Bhatia from Omo in Gurugram with me.
Hi.
And I'm so happy you had time to have this conversation with us.
Thank you so
We've
much.
heard amazing things about your food, about your restaurant. So let's get to the very first question, which is what inspired you to become a chef?
What inspired? I started cooking because studies got a little difficult.
Okay.
So
I
it
love the
actually
honesty.
started as a stress buster when I was in high school. And it was primarily baking, like a lot of
Okay.
baking, but not cakes and all, mostly breads and cookies, pies and all of that. So that's how I started, and then I kind of got obsessed with it.
Lovely.
And finished cookbooks after cookbooks and started from page one and then ended at the last page. And then I decided to become a chef, and I went to Le Cordon Bleu in London.
Lovely.
I studied there. I did their grand diploma with pastry and French cuisine. And then I started working at 18.
Nice. For a lot of people who grow up in India, I mean, now of course times have changed and we get great, baking all across the country. But I think when we were all much younger, the amount of exposure we had to good baking was very less.
Yeah.
So why did you choose baking out of everything else?
It is like meditation for me. That is how it felt, and that's how it still is. Even now, after a very long day at work, I can come home and bake something nice, and that would relax me. So that's why I chose baking. I had not tried a lot of good bakeries in the country or even in different countries before I turned 18 because I'm from Kanpur and there weren't a lot of bakeries there. There was one auntie whose husband was in the merchant navy, and she had traveled the world and she started a bakery in Kanpur. So through her, I experienced quite a bit. And then I thought that why not? And Petite Pie Shop, which is also my cafe, that is the notion behind it, that I want to serve good pies in India.
That's a huge thing because I think even pie culture per se is so little
Yeah.
known of, right? Like,
Sorry, can
no
I
problem.
silence my phone?
No. Pie culture is so little known of. I think very few Indians have actually even tasted a good pie for that matter, right?
No, people know the mud pie,
Yeah,
which
which is
I
not
don't
really a
have,
pie.
which I don't have at Petite Pie Shop, and they know this version of banoffee, which is just whipped cream and
Yeah,
condensed milk.
not really a pie again. So,
And that's about it, I think. And some people know walnut pie, and that's
so
it.
since you're obsessed with pies, and I'm
Yeah.
so happy you are, if there was one particular pie that you think would definitively define Indian baking, what would it be? And something that you created, I hope.
Savory or sweet?
Either works.
So I think my signature pot pie is something which is loved by all of my customers, and it is something that it's funny, but they're like, oh, like you have that puff on top and then the vegetables at the bottom. It's just something that relates to them, like puff with matri
It's
and
familiar.
yeah,
Nice.
or like having a puri with something, the vegetable pot pie
Nice.
specifically, and that people really enjoy and they connect to it, especially in winters because it's steaming hot.
Fabulous. Perfect for this particular
Yeah.
season. Now, coming to the event that you're presenting in Bangalore over the weekend, do tell us a little bit about that. What do you feel about it? What do you think about this concept?
I am very, very happy to be here and to cook with all the chefs, amazing chefs that the group of us are, and it's just been a ball, and we've just been talking, eating together, and just having a lot of fun, learning different things from each other as well. Like I love to observe other chefs at work, and that's something that we're doing.
Nice. Now, people often say that the difference between women and men chefs is that women are always there to back up each other. So, if you had to choose one chef from across India who you think is doing something really inspiring and has excited you over the last 1 year, someone that you would like to name?
I think I would a woman chef or
Yes, a woman
okay. I think I'm very inspired by I think what Chef Noresha actually told me yesterday, that she started her career really late, and that was something very, very inspiring to me. That like even at 40, you can start a career and be so great at it, like excel at it. I think that is something which sparked something in me, that like it's not like, oh, you've done 12 years, so you're done. You can start at any point, and it's just that sheer passion of your work.
Nice. I'm in conversation with Chef Vanshika, and this is the Indulge podcast. My last question to you, of course, is 10 years from now, where do you want to see yourself?
Hopefully still cooking. Yeah, I want to, obviously, so I am a businesswoman. I run my restaurants and I take care of the P&Ls, and with my sisters, I do that, and I want to be a very successful restaurateur whose restaurant is earning money.
Nice.
And people are recognizing it. It's
So,
very important for the passion to still stay there. If you're not earning money, then it becomes a little, and I've faced that previously, and for people to come to my restaurant for the food.
Lovely. I have to ask you one last question though. Is there some cuisine that you have come across over the last 1 year that has excited you, that you have been a little bit more curious about, something new that you've
Japanese.
tried?
Yeah, because I went to Japan for the first time
lovely.
on my honeymoon this year, and I was so amazed by the kind of freshness that's there, and I always love, so my cuisine is ingredient forward cooking, whatever,
Yes,
if you
yes.
can even call it a cuisine. And the kind of freshness that I saw there, I don't think that I've seen in any other
Wow.
country that I've traveled to. Of course, I've been traveling India extensively, and I've found really, really great ingredients, but we only see that in those rural areas.
True.
Doesn't really come to the urban side of it.
Absolutely.
But I think Japan was very inspiring.
So they're doing something right.
They are doing something right, for sure.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
Chef.
you so much.
It's such a
Thank you.
pleasure talking to you.
Lovely
this has
talking
been
to you.
Romal on the Indulge podcast in conversation with Chef Vanshika. Tune in next week for another amazing podcast. Stay tuned.